everybody, Elisa here with Rosie and another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Today is National Handbag Day, I think. I'm not sure about that. Uh, but it just seemed like if it is, it's a good time to do a haul video and show some bags and whatnot. But also, since everybody's sort of high on this spooky cats Halloween pattern custom bags uh, thing right now, and it's not even Halloween and it's not even Thanksgiving, it seemed like an appropriate time to say happy holidays and show the Christmas themed holiday cats and holiday dogs patterns, because that was what my sort of two incidents at the store were recently. So I thought I'd just gang it all up together and show what I got. So just to jump right in, I guess I'll start with the cats. So these two patterns, holiday cats and holiday dogs, are, based on Cat's Meow and Best in Show. And just as spooky cats and Halloween are. But with spooky cats and Halloween, it seems that all of the animals from the original versions have made it into the pattern. Whereas here with, I'm not sure what she's doing. With holiday cats and I'm not sure about holiday cats. I haven't sat down and really compared the pattern to the original, but I could see right away with holiday dogs that not all the dogs made the cut. And that was kind of a bummer for me, because a couple of the dogs that I was hoping to get aren't even in the pattern, like the cattle dog in the suitcase and the what I think is the Doberman on its back with its leg up. I like Dobermans, but it wasn't the breed that was driving me there. It was the pose, because Duke used to lie like that on his back with one leg like straight up. And so I really was hoping, I was going to go into the store and that's what I was going to be looking for, and then they weren't even in the pattern, so I was kind of bummed. But the beagle is still there, and Rosie's part beagle, so at least there's that. What's she doing there? Sleeping. Hopefully she'll stay like that now. It's been kind of a rough dog day today. Peaches just got herself in trouble knocking my laptop over, so she knew I wasn't happy with her and she ran out of the room. Okay, so the Turnlock. It's a real holiday cats. It's a real kind of tomato kind of red, It makes me just want to go make pasta sauce. It's almost a little bit, it's got sort of like an orange undertone a little bit in most lights. Not that sort of blue, a red that has more of a blue undertone to it. So I thought it was a little strange choice of the red here, but still nice, still fun. The rendering of these animals in both of these patterns is a bit flatter than in the originals and in the Halloween versions, and people should be prepared. And I did notice that right away. I mean, it jumps out at you right away if you look carefully. So they're kind of more simplistically rendered, especially that you can really see it in the dog's version. And the shapes are very flat, meaning they just are like very often just one color to the shape. And so there isn't this shading going on with uses of multiple colors, and that's kind of unfortunate. So for example, it's a good example, is the cat in the carpet bag. And so you can sort of see there that cat right here is just a flat orange. It's just one solid tone of orange. But in the original, Cat's Meow, that cat is, shaded with a couple of different shades of orange, and that gives it some form, so it doesn't look so flat. The shape, there we go, doesn't look so flat. And so, that's what's going on in a lot of I won't, go run down every animal, but that is happening quite a bit. And it's a little unfortunate. So I like the Turnlock. It's got this flap, and then this section that opens up, and it's got the two ID windows, which I like. So I can have my ID in one and a photo in the other. And then it's got, your 6 or so card slots and a big slot behind for bills and another for bills down here. And then it's got this gusseted back section there, and my phone, which is an iPhone 11, does fit in there. It's got this sort of divider piece in the center. You can see my phone's not even taking up the full height of it, so it could accommodate a larger phone. And I like that because sometimes if you just wanted to use it as a clutch, you could, if you weren't taking a bag or something. And again, a few slip pocket card slots, and then another area where you could stick in bills or larger pieces of paper, and then a zipper pocket with gusset on one side and the back. And this style is made from one piece of fabric that wraps on the bottom. There's no seam down here. And so whatever's on the back is going to be upside down. If you're holding it like it's right side up and you flip it this way, it's going to be upside down. So that's unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do about it. I do like that kitten in the stocking stinging me. That was my husband. He's off on a bike ride. Okay, so also got the Turnlock in Holiday Dogs, and this was for my first incident at the store. And I was looking for, as soon as I realized, okay, I wasn't going to get my Dookie dog with his leg up, so I was looking for the Beagle, and I couldn't find Beagle, and so I got this, but I've since gone back, and so this one might go back. So they had put out a little bit more stock. But I do like the overall just placement and feel of this part of the pattern. I think it looks nice, I will point out, though, and this is happening on a lot of the Turnlocks that I was seeing there, and it sometimes happens in the signature line, and it happened in Best in Show, and it was driving me crazy, that this piece of fabric here on the flap is upside down on some of them, but right side up on others. And the same pattern I was looking at in the store today. And it seems like more and more of them I'm seeing are upside down. There were some right side up ones, but like fewer. It seems like they're coming upside down now more. And I just don't get that. I mean, a factory process, I would imagine, an assembly line process, things are happening in a fairly rigid way. I know that in any kind of manufacturing process, even ones that are automated in like a assembly line, when you're dealing with fabric and sewing fabric items and clothing, and I would imagine bags are the same way, humans need to be there. There's human involvement with running the machines and sewing machines and things like that. It can't be completely automated and humanless. And so I just don't understand what's going on with some of these being right side up and some of them upside down. And here you can see it very obvious because I have I have this St. Bernard puppy, and then it's on the flap upside down. So, I bought it knowing that. I was looking right at it, but I felt like I didn't have good selections on this day. And so I went with this. I'll show the other one that I got. So this one will probably go back. Also was noticing, more so with the dog version than the cat version, that this mechanism, this flap, is a little tight. It's a little sticky. Almost like the die used to cut this piece of hardware was like off by just a sliver or something. But I'm hoping, and so it kind of sticks, it catches, feels like it's catching a little bit. Especially when you still have that little bit of plastic. Sometimes it's a protective like film over it. But even without that, it's catching. So I don't know what's going on there. Some were worse than others. But I did notice that. And then, there were like a couple, some kind of like small hipster, or I don't know. I bought a couple of hipsters, and I returned them because they're too small for me. But I did notice also strap fabric was put on kind of wonky on one of them. So people should just be careful when they're picking stuff out in the store. I don't know how much they're going to restock. It just seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of stock of stuff. I don't know if it's just selling real quick or they're just not getting more stuff in. They also had a wristlet, like a tech wristlet with one side. It just has that like big clear window. So they had that. They had pill cases, but that was the first time I was there. I saw travel pill cases. I didn't get any good placement, and so I just let it go. But they didn't have any, on my second trip. And they had large duffels and like a very small backpack that looks like almost only a child could really get away with wearing it. And I finally did have totes, and so that's when I brought the hipsters back. But these are like the mini hipsters or something. They're not the regular hipsters. Those were all sold out the second trip. There was one left in the store the first trip, and they didn't have any this time anymore. So that's what I mean. I mean, stuff is like touch and go, I feel like. But they did get more blankets in. I will talk about the blankets. And they had a robe and slippers. Those are really cute. And a shirt with the dog sort of arranged in like a Christmas tree shape. That was kind of cute. So then I got a bunch of these. It's the hair accessories kit, but I didn't get it for that. I just got it for the pouch because I see seems like they're not doing the mini dome anymore, and that's a really convenient sort of small size to stick in your bag with small things in it. And so that's what I'm hoping to use these for in case the mini dome just never comes back. And in these you get, again, this was not the driving factor for me. You get a headband, so sort of like stretchy knit fabric. And then you get a scrunchie in the fabric, this kind of fabric, the cotton exterior fabric. This I could try, put my hair in a ponytail, but I have to buy very specific kind of elastics for ponytails for me because I have so much hair. I mean, the individual strands are very fine, but there's just so much, there's just a ton of it. And it really weights itself down and it gets very heavy. And so there's only a few kinds of elastic bands that will actually keep a ponytail on my head in place because the weight of my hair just pulls it right down and it just sags. It doesn't even take an hour. So this might not really be useful for me. I have to test it out. And then there's this. I will never put something like this in my hair. I would never get it out. So I'm not sure exactly how they're thinking people will use this. I mean, I've seen people with their keys attached to things like this and then from around their wrists, but if anybody's putting this in their hair, I'd be curious to know about it. Know how they're doing that and how it's working out. So I got this one for the Beagle, the one breed that I was looking for that made the cut. I do like that. I'm not a corgi person, but I do like that corgi butt with the tree lights, the string lights. And there's the Labradoodle again, blowing out a little bit. If I get super close, that looks better. You can sort of see some modeling there, some line work there to give you that sense of the sort of curly coat. And the poodle. Now the poodle is a good example of what I'm talking about with the shading change in the dog version, because here you can see it's real flat. It's just like that one flat gray. But in the original, see if I have something here, a little bit of a poodle on it. Yeah, it's cut off, but you can see the body of the poodle here has a couple of different gray tones to give it form, help the form. You can see this is flat. So that's kind of unfortunate, but anyway. So this is just, the plain nylon lining inside. And I got another one because I couldn't resist this little chihuahua with a star ornament on its head. I do like that Pomeranian with the candy cane. I do like this background color, this dark gray. I mean, it's not the same as the cat's meow background color, but it's kind of that concept of a dark gray and then these lighter figures and colors really read well and they jump out nicely, jump off of that background nicely. I love that dark gray. And so, well, I'll talk about the gray again when I get to the blankets, I guess. Now they had, oh, here's another. I did get one in the holiday cats as well. It's funny. I'm always looking for this cat in the carpet bag as if like that's the prize. But you know, it's not actually my favorite cat in the pattern. But I do like that cat below it, the black cat with the Christmas tree lights. So that was good. And I do like the gingerbread, the sleeping cat with the gingerbread cookie. I like that one a lot. And the cat with the cat in the stocking there. And it's nice how with all of the different versions of this, they've changed the pattern on the bag that the cat is sitting in. That's nice. See, so I do have my cats, my spooky cats here. I did use this today. You can see, you know, that it's heavy. It's all packed up. But you can see the difference in the bags there, the pattern in the bags. Okay, and the original, here's the original pattern in the bag. Again, very different from this even. Oh, okay, so and this has the same stuff inside, you know, the same accessories. I haven't even taken them out. So this is the band. Oh, I got the bird cage there. Oh, the kitten in that. It's a nice strip of fabric. Anyway, same accessories in there. Again, that's the hair accessories kit. And they do have some of those small zip around wallets that unzip on 3 sides, and they're sort of gusseted. They don't open very wide, which is why I didn't bother getting those. But I just felt like, oh, let me get a zip ID. So again, I fell for the cat in the bag and the bird cage. It was driving me here to the bird cage. And I just sort of liked the little bit of this on the parts of that made it into the frame here around the ID window. I like that cat looking at the candy cane. And then I felt like, well, gotta get the dogs too. So I got the beagle. You can see the notes, like a little stocking cap. And I felt like this wasn't bad. Bit of the German Shepherd there. And they did notebooks, which was something I think they really missed the boat. They really dropped the ball with Cat's Meow and Best in Show, where they didn't do these kinds of accessories. They didn't do notebooks. They didn't do mugs. They didn't do tumbler, you know, tumblers, water bottles. They didn't do any of that stuff, and I think they really missed an opportunity because people buy this stuff. You know, buy the pet stuff if you're an animal person. And it's good for gifts. You know, it would have been perfect. I should have done it when they finally did it here. So this is the holiday dogs, obviously. Again, like that gray background. It's a mini notebook. I don't think the pages are perforated, although I do think in the signature line they are. I just don't. My mini notebooks are out of reach. But I know that the large, the signature notebooks are perforated. I do use them. And it's got this one piece of heavier paper with a pocket on both sides. There's a pocket on both sides. And then it's just lined. You know, just some regular lined paper. And a nice, sturdy cardboard here. The backing, you know, the cover and the backing. And I haven't opened this one, but it's the cat's version. Couldn't get just one. Okay, so that's that. And so then when I was getting that, that's all sort of like the first incident. And I was checking out online and I said, do you guys think you're ever going to get real throws in? Because at the time they only had those silly wearable throws with the arms, and just get a bathrobe. Those wearable throws to blankets or whatever, to me, are just like something out of Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, you know, the things that they're knitting up in a frenzy and ruining the environment over. And so there's no way I'm going to do a wearable blanket, but unfortunately that pattern was great. I mean, it's the pattern that just looks, you know, just like this. You know, the dogs are fairly small, and it's this nice mellow dark gray background, and just perfect, just what I would have wanted in a throw. And so I was saying, you know, asking the woman who's ringing me up, I'm saying, you're going to get throws in, and another sales associate heard me, and she said, I'm just putting them out now. So she brings the cats and the dogs ones over for me, and they were not that fabric that the wearable blanket is. So I was kind of bummed, but you know, I'm in the zone. I'm in the got to get my holiday cats and dogs on. So I was like, okay, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I got them. So this is the dog one. And this is not the end of my throw story. Okay, upside down. So you can see nice sort of hunter green, if you call it, background. It's almost like a good Eagles green. Although I can't even talk about them right now. I turned the channel. I'm watching The Shining now, but I was watching the Eagles game and they're losing already. So, I mean, they just can't win a game to save themselves right now. This is the howling beagle. And so you can see these dogs are all pretty big, and they're all kind of close together and sort of layered on top of each other, overlapping each other. There's a Scotty with a bow. That's cute. There's the Pom with the candy cane. There's a Chihuahua with a star. So I thought, okay, well, when I got it home and I opened it up, I said, okay, I'll keep it. There's the golden doodle. Even though I sort of had mixed feelings about it, decided, okay, I'm going to keep it. It's probably not, you know, it's other things that I bought at the time, which I've since returned, are probably more expensive. I will say about these throws, because people ask me, and they are soft, but they are different. People ask me, do they feel different from the factory, from the signature line throws? And I think there's a difference for sure. The signature line throws are silkier feeling. These are soft, but they're not as silky feeling as the signature ones. I have never had any trouble washing either factory or signature throws, and I'm very careful about how I do it. I know some people have had pilling problems, or the fuzz starts flying off of them. I came across a video a while back on YouTube. A woman was really ranting and showing her throw. I mean, her throw like started to disintegrate or something when she washed it. It was a factory throw. I think it was a throw that I have in a pattern. I can't remember which one it is now. But I didn't have that problem with it. I don't remember how she washed it. She may have explained how she washed it. I don't remember. But I always wash them cold, gentle cycle, and with nothing else in there. I think that's key. You don't want anything else rubbing against the throw, causing friction. And they do say separately, wash separately. I think that's very important. And then I do air tumble dry, so no heat in the tumble dry, just air. And it takes a lot longer, but I think that the result is better. I don't know if it helps not damage the blanket, but I definitely feel like it cuts down the static electricity, and that for me is important, especially with dogs that are lying on these blankets and sometimes giving themselves little shocks if there's too much static. So that's how I wash them, and I've never had any trouble. And so then, you know, she had given me, that was the dog one, she gave me the cats one. The cats one I feel like is more in keeping with the way that the original Cat's Meow and the Spooky Cats throws look, or the way that the animals, the cats are arranged, how they're positioned, and the size of them, more comparable. And so I like this blanket better for that reason. Again, Christmas lights, those yellow Christmas lights, and all the various, you know, cats. There's the kitten. Stocking. The calico. This is cute. You can really see the socks here on this. The socks on the calico. That's cute. So, very pleased with those. But I was a little bummed, you know, about not getting one that sort of had the gray background and the dogs sort of placed more like those cats are placed. But I went back there today and they had even more blankets. So, I was returning a bunch of the the holiday cats and dog stuff that I had bought the last time that wasn't working for me. And so I actually didn't have to pay for any of this newer stuff. It all sort of covered it. My return just covered all this. And I still actually got money back. So here again, the Turnlock. I did manage to find a Turnlock with howling dog there. But again, you can see this piece of fabric upside down and kind of awkwardly overlapping with the poodle feet there. But I just was going for the beagle, and that was the only one I could find with the beagle on the front. Not crazy about the bulldog at all. I think that's like my least favorite dog in this pattern, always, no matter the version. So that was I was kind of bummed to see that bulldog there. It's not appealing at all, and it looks even worse in this pattern, this version of it, than in the Best in Show Halloween versions, where it's drawn a bit better. But anyway, so I did get that. So I think the other one's probably going back. I just have to make a decision. I do like this collie, though, with the gingerbread man. The Scotty looks cute. So that was that. And the blanket. Now, all of a sudden, I'm walking around and I see a dog blanket with a gray background. So wait a minute, that's different from what I have. This is closer to what I was wanting. So it's not exactly the same as the wearable blanket. The wearable blanket is a gray background, although it might be a slightly lighter gray, I don't remember. But the figures are much smaller. The dogs are much smaller and sort of densely packed together. And so they still don't have, as far as I could tell, I didn't see any other regular blankets with that. But this is, good enough. This is what I, would want more than the green one. Because it's more like the cats, with the dogs just sort of spaced apart more. More like the pattern itself rather than being rearranged. Let me get the corgi butt puppy in the sock there. The stocking. This is cute. Golden Retriever, I guess. So I really like this background color. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, puppy. I'm sorry. I just threw my throw on top of her. This is a poodle again. You can see very flat. But I am really pleased to have this. Very pleased to get a throw with the gray background and the dogs looking more like the pattern. Okay, so then last but not least are the totes. And they only had a handful left. I think they had 2 of these. And there was one on the shelf, and then I asked her, of the dogs, and I asked her, did she have any more? And she went back in the back, and she only brought out 2 more. So I don't know if they're getting more, But anyway, this is the Vera Tote. Now, for the longest time, I kind of stayed away from the factory Vera Tote because it had that toggle closure up top. But I did like the fact that the lining, the inside of the bag was quilted. So the lining side of the bag was actually quilted fabric. It was like the back of the quilted fabric. And so I had only recently sort of started getting into buying that. And I was finding that it actually was working for me. And I was liking it. And so as soon as that happens, they go and change it. It's very frustrating. I don't know if this is recycled material. That much I can't tell. I'm just trying to see if there's a tag that says anything. I don't see anything on here that says it's recycled. I don't know. But it has a zipper top now and this blousey, non-quilted, lining. So you can feel underneath the lining, you can feel this. You can feel the quilting here, which is what it's almost like that's what the bag used to be. it used to be the inside was the back side of this quilting, and you could see it, and it was nice. Now there's this layer. I wonder if it has something to do with the way they're finishing the top and having a zipper, that they have to, it just makes it easier if they put this lining in here that's sort of tacked down in spots, but not totally tacked down, so it has this kind of noisy, blousey kind of sound and feel. But I stopped buying the factory Vera Totes when they switched over to doing this. It was a few patterns ago, and I said, okay, I don't need any more bags anyway. I mean, I really don't need any more bags. But I did it for the dogs and the cats, and then that's it. I won't buy any more of this style line like that. I won't do it. But it's got, your slip pocket on one side, zipper pocket on the other side. So that is nice in that you kind of feel like, even though the tag is here on the slip pocket side, it almost feels like you could carry either side out and always have a pocket, That's nice. And so I picked this because I like the front pocket with the beagle. Unfortunately, sort of near the bulldog. So even though, I was pleased to get good beagles, the bulldog, I feel like the bulldog is kind of all over here, so I'm just going to pretend I don't see that. But anyway, very cute. Handles feel good, nice and padded and quilted. I like the handles on the factory Vera. And then the cat's version. Again, sort of tomato red kind of feel to it. It is looking a little bit oranger on my screen, a little bit bluer in person, a little less orange in person, but the light also really affects it. That's a bit more accurate when I pull back a little bit. When it starts to blow it out, you can see the orange undertone there. Yeah, there it shifted a little bit. So, it just felt like hard to resist for me, hard to resist any version of these two patterns. So I make the exception, but it's not a bag that I probably will feel like I need. Doesn't have a hidden, it does have piping at the top edge, which is nice. Helps give the bag some structure. The straps don't have piping on the edges, but the top does still have piping. This top slip pocket has piping, which is nice, gives it a nice crisp edge. And inside, 6 slip pockets on this sort of blousey, nylon lining. And there is something stiff in there for a base, but it's not removable. But I wouldn't hesitate to wash this. Like I say with my signature Veras, I wash signature Veras and they go through the laundry fine. So that was it, my holiday cats and holiday dogs haul. Happy holidays. It's October 10th. Happy holidays. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.